Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Retrogame Roadshow with Retroware TV. Thanks for coming out. So this is not our idea, but we love it. Chris Kohler from Wired, who's a video game collector, video game journalist. He's been doing this for the past few years at PAX East. And so we decided to, hey, Chris, why don't we do it at MAGfest? He's like, okay, guys, don't screw it up. So here we are. So let's scroll forward here. And who are we up on here? Why are we here? So there's a group of four of us. We're with Retroware TV. I'm Pat Contry, and in parentheses, it's kind of like our areas of expertise, so to speak. I'm an NES guy. I like old PC games and TurboGrafx 16. John D'Elia, to my left, he's general knowledge of video games. Probably knows more about 90s stuff than I do by a long shot. And the same with Lance next to him. And these guys are the founders of Retroware TV, by the way. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. And then to my right is Joey Rude, the center. And his area, yeah, please boo him. And his area of expertise is the 16-bit era for the most part, SNES and Genesis. And science. Science. He is a physicist. So
bring up your rare science.
So real quick about, this is a short PowerPoint, I hate PowerPoint. I did this between my connecting flight yesterday, I almost missed my connecting flight. Video game collectability about it. It's driven based upon factors of other collectible markets out there. It's based upon desirability of the item, the interest level, the importance of the item to sort of genre, and the rarity drives collectability. You have a microphone. Science, Joseph.
However, sometimes rarity does not necessarily mean equal collectability. The best example I can think of right now is Earthbound, which is not a rare game per se, but is ridiculously expensive at $200 for a loose cart, generally.
In demand.
Yes, that's the interest level.
Yeah. Chrono Trigger is a good example of that as well.
Your microphone's falling apart there. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Lance.
Yeah, Chrono Trigger, for example, is a game that is relatively common, but loose you can get up to 150, 200 for at this point. Only one mic works.
We have one microphone working. This is great. Okay. You're only hearing me. My dream.
Just project.
So in terms of retro game collectability and the market itself, I've been collecting for about 12 years, so I've been tracking this kind of like myself and seeing the way the market's been going. It really took off around 2006 for a few different reasons. One of the reasons being the virtual console, I believe, and the Wii coming out, and it was the first new Nintendo console of sort of that era after the internet got really popular and the virtual console, and all of a sudden people are like, wow, look at these old games for sale, let's go back and see what else is out there. That's the way I look at it. That's sort of the jump off point about 6 years ago. And then a couple of years ago, maybe 2009, early 2009 is where it really started to it was taking off a little bit, then it just really went up. And in terms of collectability, the NES is still the most popular system to collect out there. It used to be the Atari 2600 in the 90s because that was, about three video game generations back, and those guys were getting in their 30s, and so the 2600 was huge in the 90s, and now we're getting into our 30s. And so what we played was the NES and Super Nintendo, and so that's going to be on the upswing. So Super Nintendo is getting more popular for collectability along with PlayStation. All right, state of collecting today. What's been going on in the video game collecting world? If you didn't realize it, since this is the primary source for a lot of you guys buying stuff, there are a ton of eBay sellers who specialize in selling retro games. I mean, they made it like a cottage industry. Again, probably around 6-7 years ago when it really started to take off, when you had people realize that these games were sought after, and then go out, get the games from an already secondary market like yard sales, garage sales, and then take it back, put it up on eBay and see what happens. So there are probably thousands, at least a couple thousand people that just specialize in selling just retro video games. Probably worldwide, it's probably thousands. There are a lot of active game collecting, trading, retro game forums out there dedicated to just the old games. Nintendo Age is one, Atari Age is another famous one. There's a bunch out there. Mom and pop game stores are starting to come back the past, I'd say 5-6 years. They're starting to come up, and they realize it's a big market. I mean, the rumors were that GameStop wanted to get back into the old game market. I'm not sure if that's going to happen.
I mean, yeah, GameStop, for example, with the idea that modern games are moving more towards download, more towards more DRM, so that the physical media themselves may start to deteriorate. The resale market and the idea of going back to retro seems to make a lot of sense. I mean, Lance and I, for example, live in Connecticut, and Game Exchange has grown exponentially as a retailer in the state. I mean, we must have 5-6 locations, and we're third smallest state in the union. So this is obviously a growing hobby.
Also, with the addition of the newer consoles having physical media that you still might not be able to use because they're being registered to your system. That's also a factor that's playing into this as well.
All right, we'll move along. Grading authorities are popping up to try to legitimize retro game collecting, like BGA, which is Video Grading Authority. So, like sealed game collecting is on the rise. It's a niche sort of collectible market, but it's out there. And prototype collecting, reproduction of game cards is becoming more serious. People now bid up on prototypes. We'll talk about this later, but you have a lot of repro games that are for sale even out on the floor there. And it's on fire. Next slide. It's fun. Quick do's and don'ts of collecting here. Do collect because you enjoy a system, a title, a genre. A bonus if you actually play the things you're collecting. That'd be great, right? We sort of play some of these. Don't collect just to speculate on prices and try to get rich quick by flipping games. There's collectors that do that. I don't even call them collectors or something else. There's sort of like predators on the market. There's people that try to corner markets on games, buy multiple copies. I'm not going to get into stories, but there's lots of cases out there where people try to buy up all of one really hard to find game just so they can jack the price for everyone else. So don't do that. I would hate you if you do that. I will hate you. Get deals at flea markets, garage sales. I've said this all the time. And trade. There's nice collectors out there that will give you a deal. There's some nice vendors downstairs that will give you a deal. Don't be a know-it-all collector who looks down on others who may not have the same knowledge as you do, because for anything like Star Wars stuff, comic book, there's always someone that knows more than you and less than you, and just try to pass along the knowledge and have fun. And do collect because it's fun. Stop collecting when it stops being fun. I've seen many people get into game collecting and burn out within a year or two. They're gung-ho, they get in, they buy everything up, then they're selling their collection within a year. That's happened a lot. So get into it for the right reasons and stay in it for the right reasons. And now on to the Retrogame Roadshow. We will be evaluating some game items today. Yeah! And giving our thoughts on the background, collectability, potential value. We are not know-it-alls. So don't accept everything we say as 100% truth or gospel. Do your own research, ask around, get informed yourself. Whenever you're buying, especially something really expensive, you have to get informed and do your research, ask around. And we're basing our value estimates on the market out there, eBay past auctions, our own personal auction sale knowledge of rare stuff. So it may not be 100% accurate. And so take it as a guideline. And thanks to Chris Kohler from Wired. I wish he could be here for letting us franchise this idea. Let's get started with our first topic.
Yeah, so we're going to go down the list. Joseph G, I think, was here with...
Joseph G.
With a couple items, or at least one item.
Does Joseph G want to come on up? We have Joseph G here. So we have a mic to come? How are we going to work this? Yeah, well, let's have a chair over there. We can have him sit. We have an extra chair. We have a webcam. Ah, it's on me. Come on up, Joseph. Yeah.
Cheers for you, man.
And tell us about your item. I'll take the microphone up to Joey.
Alright, so I guess let's talk about what I have here. Thanks for having me up. Alright, right here? Alright,
Yeah.
so thanks for having me up, guys. What I have is a complete in box Super Famicom Rockman and Forte, Japanese import. I never really cared what the value was because I liked the game, but you guys probably give more history about it than I would know.
Where did you come across it?
My dad got it for me about 10 years ago at a pawn shop in town because I think he was trying to impress his girlfriend and buy me something. And I saw this and I wanted it. I'm not sure how they came across it. Yeah.
Well, it's a Japanese exclusive game that wasn't released in the U.S. until the GBA years, because it came over as Rock Band and Bass on the GBA. And what is kind of weird about it is it came out at a time on the Super Famicom that Mega Man 8 was out on the PlayStation already, and apparently a lot of the sprites used in the game are actually found in Mega Man 8. So it was a late, even the Super Famicom release as well. As far as value, I think it's around like $50 or so, box complete. It's a cool game to have. I think there's some text in it that is Japanese, but it has
jump and shoot.
Yeah,
It's pretty universal.
but it has positive reviews for it. You know, people do like it. The creator thought it was kind of like a kiddie version at the time of Mega Man a little. That's why he developed it for the Super Famicom. Apparently, that's Kenji Funde. Yeah, it's a fun game.
Well, thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
And condition-wise.
Condition-wise, it's a pretty good condition as well. Yeah. You have all the inserts. You have the manual.
Yeah, there were even some, the answers.
Okay. Well, thanks.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Cool.
We've also some routes to go through. But what's next? Mike A. Mike A. We have Mike A coming up.
Is this Soul Man? Soul Man?
Are you the Soul Man? Somebody else called the Soul Man as well. So we're trying to figure out who the Soul Man is. All right, grab the mic there. Grab the mic, Mike. All right, Mike, what have you brought for us? Wow, look at this.
I brought Panzer Dragoon Saga for the Sega Saturn. I only paid about like $55 for it, which was pretty good, I think. I don't really know.
It was a late Sega Saturn game. It's the third in the series for the Panzer Dragoon. Obviously, this is an RPG. The first two. Okay, give me that mic.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, sorry about that. But yeah, it was a late Sega Saturn release. There wasn't too many copies made. The initial print was around, I think, 6,000 for the initial print. And then it actually kind of became in demand because it got pretty good reviews. So Sega released another batch about, I think, like 12,000 or so. So there's not many copies of the game around. Looks like you have like a reproduction case and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
obviously the price does get diminished a little bit. But even the discs themselves go for around like 50 to like 80, I think, Pat.
Even up to 100.
Yeah.
And a complete
A
set.
complete set is like 200 to 300.
I was
you're
gonna say,
looking
if
at.
this was an authentic case
Yeah.
and complete, at least probably 250.
Yeah,
around.
and it's interesting because it was a rail shooter based game. The first two games were, and then they went with an RPG with it, which was kind of interesting.
So, 55 you got?
Around 55, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good price, definitely.
Basically, yeah, around market value. So you did well. And it's
Yeah.
a perfect game.
Good job on making it pretty with the.
Cool, thank
It's
you.
always better than just having the disc lying around. So.
Thank you.